Well, folks, we're doing our Metroid Prime run-through on the Gamecube right now. This has an in-depth tutorial / preface that I'm not going to make you watch. There's a lot of cutscenes in it. It's kind of boring. But it does show you the basics of how the game plays, and with some of the stuff that you get taken away. The idea is that Samus chases down the Phazon, right? Is that who they're called? Bad guys? Yeah, they're Phazon space pirates.
Yeah.
And so she chases them down to a orbiting space station around the world, Talon 4. And the playthrough at the start is the space station itself. And in that, you get damaged and you lose some of your space suit capabilities. So you don't have Morph Ball and you don't have anything like that. So we have just evacuated the space station and chased Ridley down from the planet. Now this game is a departure from previous editions in that this is a first-person shooter. Now it's a twin-stick control, but it's got a little twist to it. So your main left stick generates your left and right axis, but it's also your forward and back. In order to actually look around you, you have to hold down right trigger, you come up and you see your hand on your arm cannon there, and then you can move around like that. It also has a lock-on control with the left trigger. Now, what we had discussed previously with this game is an adventure game as well as a first-person shooter. So, if you see in the lower left-hand column of my visor, I have pad control. It looks like the D-pad, but there's a crosshairs in the middle, and these are the visor views that it gives you. So with the D-pad, I can click over, and I've got this view. And if I focus on something, lock in, get info. So this is my gunship, measured, registered to me.
There was so much scanning in this game.
Yeah, there is a ton of scanning. And it functions just like your gun. You can hold down the trigger and you can look around. And every time you get something new, it will tell you that there's a logbook entry that has been generated. So, and if you've already scanned it, you saw earlier that it was a bright red, and now it is a dull red icon. To get out of this view, you can either press the D-pad again or just press A and your gun's out. To view your log entries, you can go into here, and if you go into your logbook with the right trigger, you can see pirate data, creatures, and research. And you can come back to these notes every once in a while and see what's going on.
I think the other question mark locations are, like artifacts, Chozo lore, things like that are scattered all over the place. Like that's the main way of storytelling and giving you history in this game is scanning things and having it turn up in your logbook.
Absolutely, and the Gamecube. It looks like you could have done it this way, and these are just the options for the game itself. You've got an inventory. You can see your arm beam only has the power beam available, and and that's pretty much it. That is the majority of the game. To access your map, you need to press Z, and this is it right now. So we've got a top-down overworld. This state of the game is I have just landed from the space station, and I am in the first room of Talon 4 world view. You can see here there are 5 doors and my ship right in the middle. The cone is my current field of vision and what door I'm looking at. So let's play some Metroid, folks.
I'm down. What I'm not down with is right from the beginning, if you go into that map screen, it lists out the different cannons you're going to get. I like to be surprised with upgrades.
It doesn't. It tells you that you have cannons and then gives you question marks for everything else.
But pull up the map again. Like
the overworld map?
Right.
Okay.
And then pull up the legend on the side. Yeah.
Oh, so it does. So
telling you the different doors when you come to them.
Yeah.
You gotta have.
I demand plasma beam now!
Yeah.
That's
Any beam, wave, ice, plasma, missile. Right.
it's just unfortunate.
You know,
Takes some of the spread.
and I suppose it does if you notice that sort of thing. And just like the regular Zelda games, or Zelda games, just like the regular Metroid games, it's shoot the door to open it up. So, and there is, as we mentioned previously, a ton of scanning in this game. And here's the lockdown function. While you're locked on, you can also strafe by pressing the L trigger. It'll bring you around. You do have such regulars as the power ball for the morph, and which I don't have available to me right now. It would normally be accessed with the Y button, but we ain't got it. So we just gotta stumble through. And this looks like a room with no visible exit. And in reality, if you can see in the upper right-hand corner there is an exit, and it's right here, but it's blocked somehow. So, hallmark of Metroid games, you find something, maybe I just run my mouth. So there we go.
Like the exploding fruit.
Yep. So, this creature has been downloaded in your logbook, and what this is as Stuart just said, it's a sap sack, and it blows up when agitated.
Just like me.
That's it.
Sap
Sap sack that blows up when
blows up.
agitated. Just like that. Now, I'm not pressing any button right now, but you can see there's a rotating reticle on my screen right now, and that lets me know there's something that can be locked onto. It is, and it's real far away, but we can go ahead and take shots at it. But whatever.
Something exploded.
Something did. Something blowed up. And in this mode right here, where I'm panning around, you can still lock onto things. You just press the lock on button when you're there. And it will fall on regardless.
So you said earlier we were in pursuit of Ridley,
Correct.
and that's the name of the drink we're drinking today.
Yes, we are drinking Ridley. And a lot of these are enemies that you can remember from previous Metroid games. I remember the sharp, spiny things. And
The Goombas, basically.
yeah, these ones go round and around the ledge, and they are unkillable with the power beam. It also does have the power-up beam. So, like, I can charge this. It's something I don't have access to, actually. But you hold the A button and charge it up. And go through. So that one just freezes when you shoot it. Jump across.
This was a little bit after Nintendo's kind of bringing all of its major franchises into the 3D space. In 64, we skipped Metroid completely. And it wasn't until Gamecube that what they'd already done with Mario and Zelda, they finally applied to the Metroid soundtrack. And it's almost sort of textbook in the way it's executed. They just took everything that existed in the franchise before and implemented it into this 3D world. And I think the guys at Metroid did a real good job of taking what was once a side scroller and adapting it to the open world form. It was real good.
Yeah, turned into a pretty good game.
Yeah, I really enjoy this game. This was done as well as you can expect. And if you can see from my map here, there's like all these different locations and grid sections that you can zoom into. So this hexagon on the expanded view comprises all this ground right here that we've got. So this is a very in-depth game, and we're only going to be showing you part of this stuff because we just don't have
30
time.
hours.
Yeah, we just don't have the time for that. So bear with us while we do a quick-ish playthrough of Metroid. Now, as I said, I did the tutorial section previous to this, so you didn't have to sit through it. But this is the first time that I have touched this game in 10 years.
the games in the Metroid series, what do you consider your favorite?
It's really hard to say. I think this one is actually my favorite. The first Metroid game's got a lot of props because it is the game. You know, it's the start. And you can see here that this is a door that I need to open with something else, and I think this is a missile door. But I don't remember. And missiles would be actuated with the Y button.
Yeah.
And this is a major hallmark to the games. You know, you come across rooms and doors that you can't access, and you just move on. You just remember that this sucker is here for a later date.
Or if you're like me, you completely forget it's there and you get stuck and spend half an hour trying to figure out
Wandering
where
around.
you saw that one place.
That's how I play it.
And just like the other Metroid games, you leave a room, kill the enemies, but you come back and they are there. Now with the attack button here, you can jump while locked on and strafe while locked on, and it will still take extra targets. And you can just strafe without being locked on to anything by holding down the lock-on trigger and then just moving it like so.
So, for the Metroid for NES, we mentioned this on Chatsuba, but this is a different segment. So, you can't forget the amazing moment where the game ends and Samus removes the helmet and Samus is a girl.
Yes.
It's a great moment because nobody sees it coming unless you accidentally read Power Up and they tell you.
Nintendo Power ruins it for you.
But Samus is a chick, and that's completely awesome. And if you beat the game, you see Zero Suit Samus, which is every gamer's fantasy. So there you go.
Well, I don't call it my fantasy. But in this one, you can clearly see that she's a woman. You can see through her visor at multiple points, and that is definitely a female face.
Yeah, anytime there's a flash of light, or even when you're shooting the charged up shot and the reflection hits the visor, you see
The eyes.
the eyes looking back, and that was a kind of disquieting thing. The first time I saw it, I was like, did that just happen? Have I been playing this for too long? But yeah, there's a lot of cool little things like that.
Unlike the very first Metroid game, which gave you zero input, this, like, literally zero input. This one has, this is what's going on, you should be looking for these clues, and they'll pop up on your visor. So you've got a definite, like, I'm chasing down Ridley, and I'm looking for the baddies right now.
The first Metroid is hard.
Yeah. And it's not just that it's a hard game, it's hard because it tells you nothing.
Yeah.
And then there's Super Metroid.
I may be losing battery power on this controller, and
In fact, yes, maybe.
yeah. Oh. Pardon us. No, we got a standby controller.
Good to go.
Alright. Now, this controller is wired, so it's not going to run out of power. However, it is a piece of shit. So, there are certain functions. I will not be able to look at the map anymore. Just letting you know.
Maps.
Who needs them, right?
You didn't have them in the first one.
Let's get that real Metroid experience going.
That's right. We don't need no stinking maps.
So is Super Metroid your favorite Metroid?
I'd say so. Like, this was the first Metroid I played, was Prime, and so this is how I was introduced to the series. But like I was saying on Chatsuba, I went back last year and played through all of Super Metroid. Was still impressed and still blown away at what that game can do. And even just the atmosphere it conveys, the music in that game is so foreboding and atmospheric. And it's the perfect of like the Metroidvania genre of games. I mean, that's why it's called that, is because this franchise started that. And everything that was wrong with the first one, everything that, you know, there was an issue with, they just refined and perfected. And I think the culmination in Super Metroid is what kept this series alive.
Interestingly, if I remember correctly, I've read that the Metroid series was released originally in Japan and was highly unpopular there. It came to the States and was a smash hit.
Was there any like context as to why it didn't catch on over there?
No, I don't remember that aspect. Alright, so we've got some sort of laser trap. This is obviously an eyeball thing, and I don't remember what so let's see if I get shot up some.
Can you scan those guys?
Why, yes, you
Scanning is the key.
can. It's a new creature. It's in my blog.
It's high on.
Not my blog, but my log. Like, lol, this is Samus, and I'm on Talon 4. Entirely composed of ocular tissue. So it is a laser eyeball.
Ion. I get it. Clever. Good stuff.
Indeed.
Yeah, I think, like, speaking to what you're saying is not catching on in Japan, like, it seems that the Metroid franchise is the one that there is the least amount of real information about as far as like the creation and how it was developed and everything like that. Like Mario and Zelda both, you know, have countless interviews and stories about the creators, what their inspiration was.
Voice actors and everyone involved in everything.
Right. And I just feel like the Metroid series has always been sort of the stepchild left out. And
The redheaded stepchild.
yeah, just kind of, they keep making the games, but I don't know that they're happy about it.
Now, it's been a long time since I played this game here, but you saw me, I read that this sandstone block was weak, and it can be destroyed right here. And if you look at this, this is for a section of game that is going to be, this is an area of this map that is going to be accessible when I have the morph ball form. As you can see, it's a track, and it's going to go up into something. And I remember being here a decade ago. So, this will be important at some other time. Additionally, this game makes use of the rumble pack technology, so anytime these guys pop up, like I feel it through the controller, it rumbles on the floor, so it's not just a holy crap shot.
Is that shininess over there something you can interact with?
What it is it's just a wall decoration. In fact, I really like this because it says it's not. Oh, not this one.
That one has a lot to say.
Yeah, it does. It turns out the people who used to live here are now energy people. Leaves are super poisonous. Again, I can blow those up. Now, what you're seeing here is a lot of poison states. So, like everything is poisonous. There's a lot of poison in the tree, and this will play in for the later storyline. Now, I want to apologize to everybody right now because I know that on the audio you're hearing a beeping noise, and it's because the right trigger on this pad doesn't work, and it thinks it's being told to press beyond its limits, so it's just beeping constantly. I'm very sorry about that.
Hopefully we can tune that down a little bit in post.
highly ornate, does not appear important. So thank you, game.
Nice.
We appreciate you letting us know that there's something to look at, but that we can ignore.
But not that.
No. The wasps don't ignore. Now, when you get the charge beam later in the game, it will collect the power-ups and stuff from defeated enemies. It will suck them in like you're used to in Super Metroid. And that's what I was talking about with the map not moving so well. So,
We'll just wait.
just wait. Like regular Metroid, it does have save points, and if you can see here, like running through this, like there are parts where it will poison you up, and we're gonna go ahead and switch controls right now. All right, awful noise kill. We were terribly sorry to have put you through that, but that's where that goes.
We're kind of reactive here.
Yeah,
We deal with things as it comes.
they do not pay us for this, believe it or not. We are not
I don't
professional.
even know who they is. I guess am I they?
But you are they, actually. We demand money from you.
Feel free.
Give us money.
He doesn't
Okay.
buy us drinks, though.
He does. That is true. So here's another example of something that you can't get to right now, because there is a doorway over there that is not openable by my laser, and there's probably a grapple hook point on the wasp nest. And kudos to them making the wasp nest look like wasp nests. That's really nice. But there's enough junk here that you're like, maybe I could jump to it. So we're going to go ahead and oblige the game by attempting to jump to it.
First-person shooter platforming is the best kind.
Okay, so you made it over and you're in. Look at that. Turns out I was wrong.
There you go. Cool bugs. A lot of different lighting effects in this game that are real
Really-
innovative for
Really
the.
nice, actually.
Yeah.
Yep. I really enjoy the off-kilter camera. And if you can see, your suit's issuing you a warning, and that warning is because of the water. The water is highly toxic, and if I hop into it, it will damage me. Boxes are explodable.
I thought the warning was for that grass that looked like it was trying to tickle you.
No. Turns out I'm wearing a suit.
This looks ominous.
It does, doesn't it? It looks like if I jumped on that platform, something bad would
Something
happen.
might be poisonous in
Yeah.
this room. I don't know. There's a lot of green.
And there is
so.
a giant question mark here too. So now this is one of those games where you can't save on the fly. You have to save at save station, and we have passed up a save station. So the smart thing to do would be go back to it. So let's be smart.
Or save when you hit the save station.
Yeah, or who actually used it when I was there. Yeah, wasp. Did we go into that other room?
No. We hopped right over it.
No, we couldn't have got into it. I really enjoy this game because nothing is easy in the game. Like, you have to go through effort, you gotta kill the enemies, you've got to make your jumps. None of it's gimme, like, none of it's particularly hard, but none of it's easy.
And if I remember right, the further you get along, the less, I guess the more scarce health becomes. The enemies don't drop as much, and it's a lot less frequent.
It is less frequent,
issue.
and you will gain more energy tanks, like Metroid 1. You will gain your energy tanks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But so you'll have a larger pool, but with smaller replenishment. Now the save station here is up top. Gotta figure out how to get there. It looks like I hop on that ledge.
Voila.
Sweet save pose.
Isn't it though? So it'll save you, it'll clean your armor apparently, and it will fully replenish your armor. I do like that laser car wash. So let's go fight what is obviously a boss, shall we?
I guess my understanding of lasers is not near correct, because I don't. I've never seen lasers clean metal before.
You know, it's a heat source, you can just clean it. Wasps. I mean, haven't you seen those laser touchless car washes? They obviously use lasers to clean your car. It's the same thing. Nintendo was just ahead of time years ago.
Everybody ripped them off at the gas stations.
That's it. Now, I will say the drawback to using this as a first-person shooter is the fact that it is twin-stick control, and I know lots of people play shooters that way, but let's face it, the mouse is just better. I mean, objectively speaking, it's just better. Alright. So, we've got evil, creepy floor.
Definitely.
We've got platform. And you saw that warning when I hit the low point here, right? There we go.
Yep.
So we do know the floor is toxic. There's a platform here in the middle, and something bad's gonna happen.
And there's something in the water.
It's a thing. Let's see. So, life forms detected within hollows of machine.
They're probably from.
I'm certain of it. Okay, so we've got something saying you have to use an elevated bridge to use. And if we can lock on this thing, there we go. But functional. Here we are. That looks like the missile power upgrade. So, toxic room is filling up. I'm now on my limited platform. I'm definitely gonna have to fight it back.
Music kicks up.
Yep. not a particularly difficult game, especially since you can just start shooting in space and the rockets are occupied. And the cause here is whenever they hit the platform.
Like acid.
Yeah. Especially when you get caught, because while we've been talking up the graphics a lot in this version of the game, they ain't great, and I'm dead. So you get knocked off the platform, and it's like, how the hell do I get back up? And
Just
that's the
grab onto
thing.
that chunky geography. And it's real edgy, and seems like you should be able to reach out and maybe, pull up.
Well, yeah.
Hard to do that with an arm cannon.
And in the storyline, the reason the life forms are so hostile is the phase-on corruption of them. So everything is evil and tainted. That's what I learned.
Carries over to real life, too.
Yes.
So in the Metroid canon, there's the NES version, the Super NES version.
No pun intended.
Yeah. There's this one, which is the first GameCube and the first person. And then there's a second GameCube game, and then a Wii
Yes.
game.
2 Wii games.
2 Wii games.
There's Prime 3, and then there's Other M. And Other M was not developed by Retro, it was done by...
I've never actually heard of this one.
You don't need to look into it.
Okay.
It's real bad.
Fair enough.
It, the less than
So the latter Metroids are not as successful. The predecessors.
So if you just stay stationary, when you get hit, do they knock you back?
You
Or
do.
You just take damage.
No, it's both. You take damage and they knock you back. So, as they stop, they become. See, I took damage right there. You can hit them as they spin around. A little difficult. Try to put shots in the path, but they'll stop at a point, and that's when you put them lock on. Man, that was a big hit.
Slid all the way up.
I'm going to have access to missiles, provided I don't kill myself when I jump. And there is handily a missile-activated door nearby. Okay, so now I have missiles, and I have a missile inventory. If I were to look at my arm cannon, we can see that I have, what is it, under secondary items, I guess? Yep, missile launcher. And it'll give you a little overview. So, it does more damage. You press Y to fire it, A to return to beam mode, and then missiles fired locked on will seek their targets, can destroy objects made of radion or brimstone. There is a charge missile, and that will fire a tandem beam and missile, which I didn't actually know. It may be something from way back in the day that I just...
Yeah, I think there's some later enemies and boss fights that you have to use that to knock their shield plating off or something like that, if I remember right.
Okay, and we've got an energy tank. Okay, and you'll see at the top my energy, like right under the word energy, it'll show the extra pip there. So I now have 199 points of energy. And remember, kids, always scan the room. But I'm pretty sure there's nothing. To verify that, we look at the map. Oh, there's something in here. There is another exit. So I came in that door you see right there. And if you remember the legend earlier, where it had a open door and missile door, that used to be a missile door and now it's an 8. So that is a small point. I'm betting I'm going to be required to have the morph ball capabilities to get through. Right there. So this is an example of something you would have to remember, like, there's that door that I couldn't get through that was in that place.
And sometimes it just takes you to another missile upgrade that'll increase your capacity, but other times it's critical path, and you have to remember that it's there in order to progress even further.
Or you keep wandering room to room for hours.
Yeah, and I definitely did that the first time I played this game. Is just wander around in circles going, man, what do I do next?
Yeah.
I wish there was like another door.
You do get a suit later on, a suit upgrade that allows you to be more resistant to the poison. But that is a big theme throughout this game. Damage your suit will take from it. Okay, now that I've killed the boss here, you see the wasps no longer exist. Oh, I lied. I lied back.
They exist.
They exist. Oh my god.
Just not entering the room part.
Yeah. Here's something. Maybe I'm not making this.
So that was a missile door down there too, right?
Yeah,
Now you can open that.
Yep. Oh, looks like a map room.
Super useful.
Yeah. And this is a common theme in Nintendo games, is finding the map. Zelda, Metroid, all this sort of thing.
Oh my gosh, I was so happy when I found the maps in Zelda. Where am I going?
So now we have a layout of the rooms, and you can see the different places you can go. So in order to move through the rooms, you can use the C-pad, and it will move you into the stick. So there's the, this is the room where I just fought the boss. There was that missile door with the path that I couldn't get into because I've got don't have the ball form. And as you can see, it adds an entire different section of the map. Huge amphitheater, all kinds of stuff. Now, this is the map for this particular hexagon, not for everything. So, if I went like that, it doesn't do me anything. It's not the map for the rest of the hexagons, which sucks. Not only is that, but like there's more hexagon sections. So we're in the Chozo Ruins. This is the Talon Overworld. Lots of stuff to go through. This is an immersive game, many hours of play. And look at these graphics. I mean, you know, this game is a game that I bought 2002, I want to say.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And there's no problem with these graphics. I mean, it is definitely lower end, but like
But you're not going ah.
Yeah, you're definitely not upset at the level of graphics in this game.
And I think on the Nintendo eShop you can download the trilogy of the Prime series, and it's all HD remastered, so it's
Another reason for getting the Wii, folks, it's not just Mario Maker. So this was the only game for the Wii or for the GameCube that I bought. So I didn't get to play Metroid 2, but I did play Metroid Prime 3, the third game in the trilogy. Let's go ahead and save since we killed the boss. We talked about on Chatsuba that the Wii's controls for Metroid were just a pain in the ass to use. It is first person here, but instead of having a control pad, you've got the nunchuck and the damn Wiimote. So you're doing this the whole time, and it is just annoying as piss.
And also, didn't they forego the lock-on feature?
Yes, yeah, the
in
lock-on
a game that seriously needed a lock-on feature.
The lock-on feature is the excuse because this is not a mouse-driven game, and so it works. Like a lock-on feature in a first-person shooter seems like cheating, but this is an adventure console game, twin stick. So I'll forgive it. I mean, this is a Call of Duty here, and it. Looking at the map, that's what I'm doing. So we're gonna go through that door. So this is as far as I can get in this section. But yeah, twin stick console shooters are not what I consider fun. I normally find them a pain in the ass. But they took that lock-on function and got rid of it, assuming that, oh, you know, you just got the Wiimote, and you don't need a lock-on. It's just good enough. You point. No.
Turns out no.
If anybody's played anything on the Wii, you know that it's no matter what you're doing.
Oh, man. Yeah, I did. Alright, so that was the first section of the Chozo Ruins. And that was one of the first doors I went into, because that's where I came from. Popped in, went into that door right there. Now let's consult the map. This game has a lot of map consultation. Like, a lot.
Yeah.
So it looks like there's a morph ball path down there that I can't get to in 2 areas. No, maybe not. That's definitely a morph ball path right there. Those should just be doors. That one's high up. So let's take a look at that door. So I've got a door up here somewhere that I cannot get to. It needs to be a bridge or a grapple point or something. Or that's a door that will kick me out at that point. And if I remember correctly, that's exactly what that is. That kicks me out of a different area of the map later on. So there's a door up here. Boy, I could have sworn I'd heard something. So I definitely feel that the lock-on function was put in to make up, to allow a first-person shooter game to be created on a console like the Gamecube. This was definitely we want to make an FPS, how do we do it with this system?
Right.
And this is how they decided to do it. And it works fine. You know, this is no Counter-Strike or Call of Duty, but it works admirably for what they've got. There are no complaints I have. It's a little bit hard to do, but the entire game.
And at the same time, I mean, you're not going up against other people that
Right.
have, you know, a higher fidelity of movement and things like that. So within the context of the enemies you're fighting and everything, what you've got to work with is totally acceptable.
Yep. So we've got here a passage that Samus is unable to bend down and crawl because I guess her suit's just too bulky. So you've got to morph into a ball, and we can't do that right
I mean, you've seen their shoulder pads. They're pretty low.
They're big. It's no lie. So we are kind of stuck like Chuck. Let's see what that lower entrance is. That looks like it's a missile door, so that's where we should have been going. So directly across and down. What's up, fellas? These things, you can lock onto them, but you kill one of them and they kind of like do splash damage and blow up their butts. But they will also do splash damage and blow you up. I do like this game tonally. There's a lot of, it feels dark and forbidden. It definitely feels like you're investigating something that was abandoned, which the story is exactly the case. So we've got another morph ball point right here, where if I were a tiny ball, I could go right in there. question. And this race, I figured this out at one point. If you're in a morph ball, you can go faster and faster, and what you can do is zip up and down, back and forth on this thing until eventually you pop up above the ledge. It's very Skater Kid. But it took me a while to figure that out, that you could just zip across that. And in fact, that looks like my morph ball upgrade right there.
Yep.
Which means there's gotta be a bad guy in here, right?
Yeah.
Gotta be.
If you've played a video game before, your instincts would probably.
Oh look! I have a trap door. I can't get to it, and a bunch of bugs. See me leaning the controller here. So a lot of strafing, a lot of circle strafing that we're going on. You can go faster by pressing the B while you're locked in. And it will give you sort of a jump boost like that. But you're not turning very well.
Why are these bugs protecting you?
You know, I don't think they're protecting the morph ball so much as they're hot. Yeah, that is definitely something I'm looking for. So, got one more still alive. Okay. Oh, now here's the boss, big bug. Well, I'm seeing a giant red tail on the end there, so something makes me believe that this is very Nintendo.
Shoot that.
Very Nintendo. Shoot the giant red part. So you want him to charge you, it looks like, and then zip past him. And attack the crap out of him. So come on. Come at me, bro. Come at me, bro. And there's my morph ball. So I believe this is where I get my big shoulder pads. Your morph ball was destroyed attempting to escape from the space station. There was a big explosion. No, it wasn't an explosion. You got shocked. And it blew off parts of your suit.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is interesting in that this is the only point of the game where you are in third person instead of first person. So you get your morph ball, you zip around, and there is a go faster button, and it lights up. It gives you a neat little streak there, where you just press the B button and you go faster. Okay, there is a bomb that apparently I don't have yet. Yeah. So, video games have taught you well, and this needs to be blown up. But I don't have the Powerball yet. So what I do is just go through the little hole. And it's got I love the graphic, like the third-person graphic whenever you're doing like this sort of thing. Like it just looks really great.
Yeah. So, do you have the ability to speed up now? Like, can you do the half-pipe jump?
Yes. Nope. And it's letting me know. They're like, no, I see what you're trying to do, and you can't do it.
This is a little Nintendo paperclip. I see you're trying to do this jump.
Yeah. So at least they give you like, hey, I know what you're trying to do, and you can't do it.
Yeah. Thanks, Big N.
Yeah. You're my hero, and have been for many years. Alright, so we now have the morph ball. And there it is. Whoops. And now we have bad guys.
I think that's a pretty good comprehensive look. That's
you know, you can't go wrong, right? Kill the bad guys.
yeah.
So let's take a look at our map again. Now we had a bunch of rooms that we couldn't get into because we didn't have a power ball. Now let's check them out. This room is still far lower right corner, was still inaccessible because I can't jump up there. So we've got that section right up on top, north facing, where you're at right now. Additionally, we have the section that I got into earlier. Not there, but here.
Yeah.
So we can check out, we've got options right now. We can go multiple places and no direction, which is something I really like with the Metroid series. Like, you've got a general idea where you need to go, but what it is up to you. So I remember going into this room, and it's a big open aviary thing.
Yeah.
And it stumped me for a long time, but it's actually an up or down section that you have to unlock later on. So that's the morph ball. So where would y'all like to go? Do you want to go back to where I got the missiles, which was this away?
I think we played Metroid.
We played it enough at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember how much longer it is until you get a beam upgrade, but I think that would be the last sort of facet to, you know, starting this out. But I think we've shown pretty much what Prime has got to offer, as opposed to, you know, what other M and things that have come afterwards.
So
like, if you want to pick up a Metroid Prime or a Metroid game in general, Prime's a great place to start.
As I said, this is my favorite Metroid game. I really liked 1, but that was just because, you know, it's Nintendo and you don't understand what the hell's going on, and here's this game. I think Prime is a really good game. It's got a lot of depth to it. There's a lot of hours playing here, more than 30.
Yeah.
I would say that this is. I don't know what the playthrough time on this is, but you're gonna get lost. Don't go online, find the answers. You can figure it out yourself.
Cheater.
Yeah.
Nothing here is so complex that you need to call Nintendo Power. There are no. God, I played some Adventure Island game where you had to put in a code that was only available in the instruction booklet. So if you rented the game, fuck you.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that was definitely a thing.
I still remember the code. It was 747, and but I had to call Nintendo Power for that, and I was unhappy that had to be done. Look on page 8, and you're like, are you kidding me? But yeah, this is a great game, and if you can download it on the Wii U, if you've got a Wii U, go ahead and pick it up. This game will give you hours of actual enjoyment. It's got solid graphics, genuinely complex gameplay without being clumsy and over hard. This isn't going to frustrate you because you can't swing your damn gun around.
Yeah. And if you played it before, I mean, and you played it back on the GameCube, now's a great time to pick up the trilogy again on the Wii U and give it a second go. It'll probably look a little bit better with the HD version. And I mean, the replayability is great. I mean, like, even as you saw, like, there's parts you're still going to get stuck on even if you've been through it. And it's just a great game. I love the Prime series.
Samus.
Also, and Samus.
Samus is awesome. Oh, the morph ball upgrade got blown off.
Yeah, I mean, it rolls around.
Yeah. There you go. But yeah, this is a good game. I recommend you pick it up. If you bought the Wii U for the Mario Maker, this is an absolute easy addition to pick up.
And check out our episode of Ambrosia that go along with this game. We're going to be showing you how to make the Ridley.
The Ridley.
And
I drank mine.
Keep an eye out on the Cybar Lounge for all of our other content. And thanks for watching, everybody. Jonathan, thank you for hosting.
Absolutely. I'm glad I could show you one of my favorite, my only game for the GameCube.
Yeah.
Missed out on Soul Calibur.
Yeah, Well, I couldn't buy. To be fair, I couldn't buy games. I was at sea for 6 months.
Yeah. They didn't have Soul Calibur on the...
At the ship store? No, it turns out they did not. They had beef jerky, which was...
comparable.
I guess.
Alright, guys. Well, that's another episode of Game of the Week. We'll see you next time.